Bonjour, je m'appelle Sami Jarroush and...
Et je m'appelle Anthony Gonzalez.
Oui, and bienvenue to the interview. Hurry up, we're dreaming.
Yeah.
Double album.
Yeah.
Coming out. And this is, I believe, your 6th studio album?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Okay. A lot of people, though, when they hear that somebody's coming out with a double album, they think a couple things. They think, one, oh, the double album's coming, which means after that he may end up taking a bit of a break, because double album obviously takes way more time than just a regular recording session with a single album. Or people are just like, maybe he's just going to call it quits and wants to go out on a high note just with the double album. So I mean, this is like when Red Hot Chili Peppers released Stadium Arcadium, then they went away for 5 years. So, I mean, going into a double album, I mean, like, what made you decide this is the album that I want to do?
Well, I took some time to do it too. I took 3 years to make this album. So, I don't know. It's a different process, I would say. It's not very different from like making just an album. It's a different concept, and of course you take more time. I mean, I took my time to do it because I wanted to do it well, and it's a long process.
Okay, and then, I mean, like, what's the main theme on this album that you felt that you needed to expand it to include a second album? I mean, like, why in particular this album?
Well, I always wanted to do a double album. I don't know why. Probably because when I was a kid, I was like big albums, very epic, and it's probably the reason why. And I felt like it was the right time for me to do that.
Okay. Yeah. The overall scope of the album, as far as the sound quality is concerned, production-wise, I mean, like, what can we expect out of that? Is this definitely more of like a headphone album?
I love to listen to albums with headphones.
Okay.
And this is one of them. I don't know. This is the way we did this album was just in all the people involved in the process is very old school. Like we really did it like we did an album back in the 90s or the 80s. It was going to the studio, like having the songs ready, like recording the drum, the bass, the strings, the brass, and yeah. I mean, I couldn't picture myself making an album just on a computer. This is not my style of making albums.
Right.
I want to do it right. I want to go to a studio, work with producers, and working with great sound engineers, and I feel like my music needs that.
Okay, and then you also have a tour coming up in November.
Yeah.
My question to you is this, and I ask this like when I talk to a lot of like the quote-unquote indie artists. It's like when you tour the United States, it obviously seems like East Coast and West Coast audiences will easily gravitate towards your music a bit more. It seems that East and West Coast audiences always have a tendency to lean towards more of the alternative indie, trying to find the next big thing, the next cutting-edge sound. Having probably toured throughout the country like a few times already, I mean, can you tell the difference with audiences between like East and West Coast audiences and audiences maybe in Middle America?
Well, we don't really tour a lot in the middle of America. It's harder, it's easier to play in LA or in New York or a big city like Seattle or Chicago. But yeah, it's harder for the kind of music I'm doing. It's harder to perform in smaller cities. Yeah.
I mean, would you want to try it? Like?
Oh, I'd love to try. I mean, we're doing some festivals in Texas and like states like this that are less, like big than California.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd love to play everywhere.
I mean, not in Los Angeles. Do you have a tendency to go towards more shows featuring artists that play that fall into the genre of your specific type of music, or are you more of like a well-rounded fan and you try to catch everything?
I mean, I'm playing the kind of music I'm playing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm listening to the same kind of music.
Right.
I have like a lot of, I love a lot of different kind of music and styles of music, and it's just like, yeah. And 2 months ago, I went to see Melvin's play in LA, and it's very different from my style of music, but it's still great music. Right. And this is the first album with the spectrum of the music is larger, and wider.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely like influenced by different kind of music.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, hurry up. We're dreaming. Got it right this time.
get it.
Sorry about that. When's it in stores in the United States?
I think it's October 17th? 18th.
October 18th. Hurry up, we're dreaming. M83 Anthony Gonzalez.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. And how would we sign off in French? What's a good sign off?
À bientôt, j'espère, sur scène ou ailleurs.
Oui.